Stallworth for winning the Grant Us Hope Award. You have won this award for helping our squad and Grant Us Hope.
Aww.
You've helped our squad in so many different ways by funding our squad, as well as helping us with the walkathon and a bunch of other projects for Hope Squad.
Oh, thank you. I've had a bad day, and this just made it so much better. And I always say to you guys when I come in, you are one of the brightest spots of my day, and this just makes it that much better. I so appreciate you, and I am humbled and honored, and I thank all of you for this.
Mr. Stallworth, well deserved. You know, I'm so proud of the work, students as well, that you guys do here. It's one of the best things when we talk about our school that you guys are involved with. So you do incredible work. And trust me, you guys are making a difference right now, every day that you're here. But also know this, like with the skills that you're learning now, when you get to be older, you're gonna be a difference maker in society. You're gonna make a difference for people. And I've seen you guys on the field, in classes, I've seen you at concerts, all the good stuff that you guys are involved with. And I can't tell you how proud both of us are that you guys are representing our school at Princeton Middle School. So congratulations, Mr. Stallworth, and students.
So glad for the mask, so you can't see how hard I'm blushing.
Yeah, and I got him, and I snuck him over here and said that there were kids skipping over here. So he didn't even know what it was.
I really didn't. This is totally a surprise. I thought I was gonna have to process kids.
Yeah.
Like, man, who's suspended? But this is so cool. Thank you guys. I'm very, very humbled and very grateful, and it's an honor. So thank you so much.
I am so proud to recognize Madeira High School junior Gabriella DeMarco as an outstanding Hope Squad member. Gabby's warm and compassionate personality draws others close to her. Her peers and teachers describe her as trustworthy, genuine, and kind. Gabby is a friend to all. She finds ways to include students who may otherwise be left out, and she makes an effort to help students who may not have a strong support system. I saw this firsthand last year when Gabby approached me about a student in crisis. She shared that this student expressed how much he was struggling and told her that he was going to kill himself. In this crucial moment, Gabby responded courageously, and she used her QPR training to encourage and support him. Because of Gabby, this student was referred to a counselor and given resources for his mental and emotional health. I know she continues to provide support and a listening ear for this student, as I have seen her helping him in the hallways at school. Gabby has also used the strategy of question, persuade, refer in her friend group. Another student who earlier this year expressed that he was going to take his life describes Gabby as a good listener and someone who really cares for everyone. Gabby is a humble leader who doesn't always receive recognition for the good that she does. An example of this is that Gabby and a group of her friends came together to create what they call the Unity Plan. As freshmen, their grade was treated unfairly and harassed by upperclassmen. They decided to change the culture by uniting the grades through intentional acts of kindness and initiatives to promote school spirit and participation. Gabby has helped create a class Instagram account where peers are asked for their opinions, invited to events, and pictures from homecoming are shared. I've also seen Gabby step outside of her comfort zone and take risks to be an agent for change. She ran and was elected a student government vice president, and she tried out for and made the cheerleading squad. These roles reinforce her goals of bringing happiness to our school and providing a better, more inclusive environment for everyone. Gabby is such an integral part of our Hope Squad, and she uses her voice to spread positivity and share good ideas. She makes signs after school to spread awareness about mental health and share crisis resources. She volunteers to read PA announcements on behalf of Hope Squad, and she participates in our squad and school-wide challenges to promote positive mental health and connection among students. During a squad brainstorm session last year, Gabby volunteered to be in charge of a school-wide scavenger hunt during our Hope Week in January. We were all so excited. Gabby and Claire Leroy were a great team. They developed the plan, wrote the clues, created QPR codes for each location, and they hung all the posters for the scavenger hunt. During a difficult year for so many, this activity brought fun and joy to our school community. We received so much positive feedback from staff and students that it was their favorite part of Hope Week. In addition, multiple Hope Squad advisors from other schools reached out to us, asking if they could use the scavenger hunt in their schools too. There is no doubt that Gabby's creativity and commitment to this work has made a difference in Madeira and beyond. As her Hope Squad advisor for the last 3 years, it is my honor to recognize Gabby DeMarco's efforts and to be a witness to the good that she is doing in this world, saving lives and spreading hope. Gabby, on behalf of Grano's Hope, I will present you with the Inspire Award.
Thank you. Oh, there you go. Thank you. I would like to thank everyone for being here to support me today. Mrs. Candela for nominating me. I thank you for all that you've done for me and this school. I thank my Hope Squad members for being here and grant us hope for this honor. Thank you. I'd like to talk a little bit about what Hope Squad means to me. When I first joined, I enjoyed being in Hope Squad because all of our members are great to be around. But I feared I wouldn't be able to actually use what I'd learned to help others or make a meaningful impact. But as I've grown, I've seen how impactful work with Hope Squad can be. I've seen the need for it more and more in my classmates, friends, and community. Anyone can be the response to that need. Hope Squad just equips us with the tools to start. Though I have gained so much in my training with Hope Squad over the past few years, what I've learned is sometimes the most important thing is to listen and be a friend. People want to share and have someone they can confide in. I know I don't always have the right answer or perfect response, but being a supportive listener and encouraging friend is enough. And you don't always have to have everything together yourself to help someone else. My hope is found in appreciating the good in every day, because it is always there. My hope is approaching the world with a sense of optimism, and my goal is to spread that to others. I want to be a part of a support system for others, because it's important to know everyone experiences their own struggles, but we can survive those with a good support system. I know my fellow Hope Squad members want to be that support system as well, and through this organization and together, we truly can make our community a more hopeful place. Thank you.
From creation we came, all of us one, but still not the same. We lived on this earth, dreamed of a world bigger than we knew could be. Counted the stars, then counted our scars, the deepest ones we couldn't see. So give me eyes to feel that I'm not alone, faith to reach the courage I own. With the darkness we must now cope, but let the light grant us hope. Life is a mission that we believe. Easy it isn't, and sometimes we grieve. Then something goes right, our days are more bright, and in us something has spoke. So we take the leap from somewhere down deep to pick up the pieces that broke. Give me eyes to feel that I'm not alone, faith to reach the courage I own. With the darkness we must now cope, but let the light grant us hope. Hope means a change that comes after pain. Shoulder to shoulder, we will remain on our way to better days. We'll try to find eyes to feel we're not alone, faith to reach the courage we own. With the darkness we must now cope, but let the light grant us hope. Grant us hope.
Stallworth for winning the Grant Us Hope Award. You have won this award for helping our squad and Grant Us Hope.
Aww.
You've helped our squad in so many different ways by funding our squad, as well as helping us with the walkathon and a bunch of other projects for Hope Squad.
Oh, thank you. I've had a bad day, and this just made it so much better. And I always say to you guys when I come in, you are one of the brightest spots of my day, and this just makes it that much better. I so appreciate you, and I am humbled and honored, and I thank all of you for this.
Mr. Stallworth, well deserved. You know, I'm so proud of the work, students as well, that you guys do here. It's one of the best things when we talk about our school that you guys are involved with. So you do incredible work. And trust me, you guys are making a difference right now, every day that you're here. But also know this, like with the skills that you're learning now, when you get to be older, you're gonna be a difference maker in society. You're gonna make a difference for people. And I've seen you guys on the field in classes, I've seen you at concerts, all the good stuff that you guys are involved with. And I can't tell you how proud both of us are that you guys are representing our school at Princeton Middle School. So congratulations, Mr. Stallworth, and students.
Glad for the mask, so you can't see how hard I'm blushing.
Yeah, and I got him, and I snuck him over here and said that there were kids skipping over here. He didn't even know what it was.
I really didn't. This is totally a surprise. I thought I was going to have to process kids.
Yeah.
Like, man, he's suspended. But this is so cool. Thank you guys. I'm very, very humbled and very grateful, and it's an honor. So thank you so much.
Hi guys, my name is Micah Gallego. I am at Hilliard Bradley High School, and welcome to the Butterfly Bash.
Hi, I'm Chloe Salapak, a member of the Tuscany Valley High School Hope Squad. Welcome to the Butterfly Bash.
Hi, my name is Yara.
I'm Nicketh.
And I'm Maliva. And we are from Mason High School Hope Squad in Mason, Ohio.
Welcome to the Butterfly Bash.
Hi, I'm Caleb Sundermeyer from the Medina City Schools Hope Squad, and welcome to the Butterfly Bash.
Welcome everyone to the 2021 Butterfly Bash. I'm Tanya O'Rourke from WCPO 9 News. So happy to be with you again. Sorry it's virtual for the second year in a row, but we're glad you're with us, even if we can't be with you in person. It is a passion for me to be part of the Butterfly Bash and part of Grant Us Hope. I love the mission, and I love my co-anchor this year. This is Nicketh, everyone. He is a senior at Mason High School. You've been involved with Grant Us Hope and the Butterfly Bash and Hope Squad now for years. So talk to me about how you've seen it make a difference.
Yeah, so I've been involved with Hope Squad for 3 years now, and I've been with Grant Us Hope for about 6 months. I really think Hope Squad makes a huge difference in high schools just because we can be the eyes and the ears when our peers are struggling. You know, sometimes people go through things and they're silent and don't really want to reach out for help and support, but kind of having people look out for those warning signs and be there for their students is so important, especially as we go through hard times like COVID and just life in general for high schoolers.
And the pandemic has not made it easier for kids, has it?
Of course, it's been so much more difficult, but it makes our work as Hope Squad so much more valuable.
We have so much to talk about, so much to celebrate too, so let's get this started.
We're the first line that another teenager will come to. A teenager probably won't tell their parents, a teacher, a counselor. They won't tell them first. They will talk to a student.
Hope Squad is letting people know it is okay to have these conversations, and it's okay if you're feeling down. Like, you can always talk to somebody. It's okay to get help.
The students have the pulse of the building much better than we do. They're on social media, they're talking to their friends, they're in student sections at games, they're at concerts with their friends. So they have a really good feel on what's going on in our building.
When I was nominated to be on Hope Squad, I was very excited because it meant that I could get to help other people and listen.
To be a Hope Squad member means to be somebody that people can come to when they need something, or just an outlet for anybody who doesn't have one, maybe.
What it means to me to be a Hope Squad member is to be a peer and a friend to everybody at your school or in your community, or really anyone you talk to.
Our Hope Squad, they are really the catalyst for change in our school in terms of, hey, I know this, now I need all of you to know this too, so that we can save lives together.
QPR, which stands for Question, Persuade, and Refer, is the backbone of Hope Squad. I've used it a number of times. I know a lot of people in Hope Squad have used it, and it is just what we are taught to how to help others.
It tells us what questions to use, what not to use, how to persuade people, and how to try to get them to talk about their problems. And if we really need to, we can talk to an adult about it.
One of the things that I have found especially great about the Grant Us Hope curriculum that we use to train the kids is the lessons on warning signs to see in their peers, and then how they can then ask those follow-up questions, whether it be on social media or their Snapchat, you know, wherever it is that they're talking, or maybe at a game.
We do current events, so things that are happening like in the school, we go over that a lot, and like how we can reach out to more people, how we can like impact the school like around us.
We do role plays where we have a partner and go through a scenario, and I found myself referring back to those role plays in a real life scenario. One of my best friends at the end of last year was really struggling. She does not have the best home life. And she wasn't doing that great in school, which was super odd because she's normally a straight-A student, and I noticed that she had been struggling a bit. And she posted on her social media that she just wanted to stop and didn't want to wake up. So that was a huge red flag for me. So I called our advisor and I sent her all of the texts and screenshots of everything, and they got her help, and she's doing much better now, and that was a great thing to hear.
We're training them to be able to talk to students that they feel are in crisis, what to ask them, what to say to them, and who to refer that to. Let the adults handle the counseling piece of it, but without the students on the front line, we will miss things.
But I tell those folks who say, oh gosh, this is too much for teenagers, I say they're already dealing with it, and with Hope Squad, they know how to deal with it.
When we're working with our kids, when we're working with our teachers, when we're working with our families, we do a lot to help remove the stigma of mental health.
Talking about it is important. Talking about it makes students feel that it's okay to have mental health issues. It's okay, and there's help out there. We just need to be able to get you that help.
The skills that they're learning with suicide prevention aren't just skills that they have to worry about now, but they're going to have friends and family members the rest of their lives who could be at risk, and they're asking tough questions now and trying to connect resources.
Through Hope Squad, I actually found what I want to do for my career. I want to be in schools as like a school-based therapist, school psychiatrist.
That's a shift in our culture that comes from the caring heart, the caring advisors, and just wanting to do better and make the world a better place, and that's what they do.
I am a proud member of Hope Squad.
Good evening, and thank you again for joining us. I'm Susanna, the Director of Programming at Grant Us Hope.
And I'm Holly, the Vice President of Development with Grant Us Hope. During that last segment, you learned how Hope Squads are reducing the mental health stigma in schools. They're creating a sense of belonging for the students, and they really are saving lives.
I can attest to that, Holly. I've been affiliated with Grant Us Hope for many years now. First as a high school principal that had the honor of bringing a Hope Squad to our school, and now as the very proud Director of Programming. And I can certainly tell you that the power of Grant Us Hope and Hope Squad is in the peer-to-peer connection. Our students are creating a foundation for breaking the stigma, for saving lives, and for truly transforming culture, not just in their schools, but in their entire community.
Absolutely. You know, we hear from parents, administrators, students on a weekly basis telling us how this program has saved a life. In fact, I heard from a father just last week who told me that his daughter was considering suicide, but he had no idea. And it was only because she felt comfortable trusting a Hope Squad member that this young woman got the help that she needed before it was too late.
We certainly know that the research shows that kids are already having these conversations. They're talking about this with each other, and oftentimes that conversation never makes it to an adult. And so as we empower our students to be part of this critical work, and we give them the ability to get connected so that they can get resources they need for their peers, and we can truly save lives together.
Makes me think of Lexi.
Oh, Lexi. I remember, Holly, the first time that you spoke with Lexi and the message you sent me later that night that said you had never felt more of an impact of the work that we do at Grant Us Hope than hearing about Lexi and her journey.
That's right, and that is why I'm so thrilled that everyone listening tonight also gets to hear her story. As you hear from Lexi, I want you to keep in mind that you helped make her journey possible through your support of Grant Us Hope. And your continued support can make more stories like Lexi's a reality. So without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce Lexi Fields.
Hi, I'm Lexi Fields. I'm a current college student and a Hope Squad alum. I was diagnosed with mental health disorders when I was 9 years old. I've kind of had anxiety and depression for pretty much as long as I can remember. But when I was in high school, the depression kind of started to take over. I was self-harming and I felt really suicidal for a lot of high school. And I felt completely hopeless. I felt like there wasn't a way out, that I was supposed to be this straight A student and student council president and all of these great things that I aspired to be, but deep down I just was not okay and I didn't know what to do about it. Breaking down and asking for help is really hard, and I think the people that do that don't get enough credit for it. I got to a point where I was hospitalized for a couple weeks. It was kind of like an outpatient treatment, and I told people I was abducted by aliens whenever they asked. It was kind of my, I don't know, like secret that I didn't really tell many people. You know, sharing that you have anxiety and depression is one thing, but being treated in what people would, you know, call a psych ward is a different step. So I kind of kept it to myself, and I went back to school, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be fine, we're gonna be good. And I got to the spring of my junior year, and I just completely felt hopeless once again. I felt like the treatment that I received, it didn't help, and I wasn't worth getting more treatment. And I didn't want to burden my friends or family with what I was feeling. We had a Hope Squad meeting on a Thursday, and that Wednesday night I decided that Thursday was going to be my last day. And I went to school and was saying goodbye, but in a very weird way. And one of my Hope Squad peers recognized it. I half reached out to them and kind of I wanted to talk to everybody and tell them what they meant to me and all of those important things, but they really understood what was going on without me having to say anything. They identified it, which we're trained to do, and they used QPR on me, which was really funny in my mind because I knew what was going on the entire time. I was like, oh, we're switching now into Persuade. Like, this is the method that we're using for this. And I was like, okay, I'll just go through it. And once I did, I was referred to our district psychologist, and I was then transferred to the hospital for over a week. And I'm sitting here right now. So it helped, and I can attest that QPR works, Hope Squad works. It is so important, and from both somebody that can see other people and their success as well as my success in it, it's really important to have them in schools all over. I still struggle with anxiety and depression. I will struggle with it forever, and I'm okay with that. And I think people getting to that point is great, and helping them get there is really great as well. I grew up in a world where mental health was still very taboo. You didn't talk about it, and you didn't get to share your experience. And now I get to sit here and talk about my experience and share with other people to hopefully help them be better and live a full, great, happy life. So many lives are saved by the work that Grandis Hope does, and through people like me who learned, and I get to spread that to everybody. I have the privilege of teaching other people what I learned, and for people who are listening to things that Grandis Hope, produce or teach or kind of share with other people who may not be in the mental health community. So I think QPR and these resources that we learn are so vital to this next kind of step in life for everybody, and just being somebody that can help somebody else. I think it all comes down to that.
So we're seeing, Nick, that even the smallest of things can matter.
Yeah.
You've seen that firsthand.
Of course. Just a couple weeks ago, my Hope Squad opened all the doors for the students coming in the morning, and later in the day, a lot of people came up to us and said just that small action of someone opening the door, smiling, saying good morning, made their day. And sometimes just those little things that can have such a large impact that we don't always see.
So I'm a parent. Do you work with parents and help them too?
Yeah, within our Hope Squad, we've done a couple events specifically for parents and members of our community. This past year, we had 2 virtual presentations where we kind of informed parents a little bit more about Hope Squads, what we are and what our mission is, as well as providing both local and national resources for them to support their families, their communities, and their peers.
Okay, so Grandis Hope is all about saving young lives together. We know the kids are working in the schools. We know the administration is receiving help. Let's talk more about what parents can learn.
So, would you mind sharing a bit about your story?
Yeah, sure. I think, it starts with we start noticing changes in our son, Ryan, who was an adolescent at the time. And, those changes kind of accelerated over time, progressed through his high school years, and started to become apparent to us that, it was beyond just normal adolescent problems. And so I think we started where most people start is, just trying to get him a little bit of help, and, it really wasn't working. And then we end up in kind of a crisis situation as he enters his first semester of college, where it is very, very tumultuous, very dangerous time, and very difficult time for Sherry and I.
So Sherry, mom to mom, help me understand what that experience was like for you.
So my experience with it was, I struggled. I had a really, really hard time with it. I didn't know what to do. It was a very scary time for me. Almost afraid to talk about it, because I wanted everything to be okay. I just lived in fear. Like I was afraid all the time. Sleepless nights, we didn't eat, crying, scared for what the next day was gonna bring. We weren't sure. There were nights where, we would sleep with them on the floor or,
yeah.
But yeah, but as for a parent, it was very, very, very scary.
Our story and the reason we're here today is, as we went through that, what we found out is just the infrastructure for the mental health in the country was really so underwhelming. We were very lost as parents, and really didn't have any resources. We didn't know anybody we could turn to, and so knowing, Diane, that you're doing such great work with the kids, but also now starting to focus on how do we support the parents, that is something that we really could have benefited from then.
And so the two of you have really inspired me. We are in the process of multiple projects, but one of them is to write a book. And we're so grateful, thankful for your willingness, to contribute to that. And, it was in our conversation that you really sparked this idea that it would be really helpful to kind of name those mindset shifts that we're trying to help parents to gravitate through as it relates to really being in touch with what's going on with their child. And so I thought I'd share a few and see how those resonate with you. One is thinking that my child is suffering with mental health issues and gravitating toward our family is having a mental health struggle. And really recognizing, as you said, that there's a grief process, for parents, and that, that it's not the path that we wanted to be on or desired to be on, but it's the path we're on together.
I might go as far as saying it is really, really hard to solve the mental health issue for the child if you don't have the family involved in solving that dynamic also.
And we talk also about the stigma that gets in the way of that. And, and the shame and the guilt that parents feel, and the focus on that versus really focusing on the pain that your child's in.
Yeah.
And, and in our culture, it's just really tough, as as we're compelled as parents to, put those images up on Facebook that are perfect. And,
exactly.
All of the things that, we want to represent our family, when our child.
Normalcy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want everything to be normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. The people we talk to, they're, at the end, they're always we're so thankful that you told us your story. And maybe we can go tell our story. We were surprised how open you were about it and how much you spoke about it. And I think directly to the stigma thing. Yes. Because, it was not easy conversations to tell people about what your child was going through. And, you'd get a lot of different reactions from folks. So to your point of, there's just a stigma out there. We really had to overcome it. And by overcoming it, we got help.
So in 1 to 2 sentences, really interested in what has you in a place of hope right now?
I am hopeful for my son's future and all the young kids out there struggling in their families.
Thank you.
I'm hopeful because I think finally this adolescent and young adult mental health issue is coming to the forefront. It's finally getting some of the focus that it needs.
It's great. The reason I'm hopeful is every time I see our amazing Hope Squad kids, they give this generation of kids just gives me such hope for our future. They are so action-oriented and they're so filled with the promise of our future. And I believe this is the generation that will solve this issue. And so I'm just so hopeful seeing our kids in action.
Watching that as a parent, and I raised 2 boys, is very hard but important to see. Nick, if my sons would come home from school and I would say, how's school today? And they go, yeah, good, for crying out, a little grunt here or there. I didn't know what to take from that.
And that can be really hard for parents, but it can be just as hard for us as kids as well. Sometimes we want to open up and we want to share the way we feel and kind of make those connections and make sure that we have a community around us, but it can be hard to express our emotions and we feel afraid of sharing our thoughts and how we feel our mental health is at that time. And that's why the work we do as Hope Squads and with Grant Us Hope is so important, because each and every day we break down that stigma, the barrier that students and people all around the world face of opening up and expressing their mental health.
Thank you for you and other kids like you are doing with these Hope Squads. Thank you for all of the Hope Squads. Thank you to Grant Us Hope for making a difference, and thank you the most to Diana Egbers for doing what she does. She is an absolute force. She will never rest until this doesn't happen to another family. I got to know her because my son Quinn was good friends with Grant, and I am so thankful that she is leading the way.
Hello again, everyone. Thank you for being a part of this year's Butterfly Bash. I am so touched that each of you chose to share this time with us tonight. I want to especially thank our Hope Squads and our Grant Us Hope team. They have been the real resilient leaders through all of the crisis that we've experienced. Thank you to all of you. Even though we can't be together as a community in person, I know many of you are watching tonight's celebration with close family and friends. We gather because we know how important it is to be together. This is especially true in times of crisis. So many people, especially our young people, are suffering in silence and isolation, more now than ever. That's why this year's theme, Saving Young Lives Together, is meaningful to me. It also is why we continue to invest in bringing as many Hope Squads to as many schools as possible. This peer-to-peer support that Hope Squad students provide by finding those who are suffering in silence and isolation and then identifying those in need and referring them to get support brings them back into the vital community that is our schools. We also learned tonight how critical it is for us to support those in isolation. We know, and I know, that when a child is suffering, the entire family is suffering as well. We have a new focus in helping families who are experiencing these challenges together. I'm so grateful to John and Sherry Sawyer for their willingness to share their story and for their work helping parents across the country. Earlier tonight, we also heard powerful remarks by Lexi Fields, a Hope Squad alum. Like so many young people involved in Hope Squads, this remarkable young woman inspires us all with her strength. Despite her own challenges, she remains hopeful. and inspires hope in others. Thank you so much, Lexi. Your optimism compels us to act. It compels us to continue our work tirelessly to make this the last generation of young people we lose to suicide. So I ask you tonight, please continue to support our important cause in whatever way is possible for you and your family. For those of you that donate to Grant Us Hope, thank you, thank you, thank you. Your support allows us to continue our important work that's vital in schools and now also with families and with parents. For those of you who continue to connect us to new resources, we appreciate you. You allow us to expand our work and our impact. And for those of you who believe in the power of hope, please know that you inspire us each and every day. It's because of this collective belief in hope that we have. We will continue to save young lives together. Thank you so much.
Susanna, how could $25 help Grant Us Hope?
Oh, $25 could allow us to better connect with crisis hotlines and emergency resources. How about $50?
$50 could allow us to send a student to a leadership conference where they can learn from their Hope Squad peers. How about $100?
$100 would allow us to create resources for parents and caregivers who may need some of that immediate information if they're having a crisis with their child. How about $500?
With $500, we could provide a training in how to identify a youth that is in crisis and how to help that young person to overcome their issues. What about $1,000?
$1,000 would allow us to continue to pursue our research so that we can ensure that the data that we're collecting is providing the impact in our schools in the most meaningful ways. How about $5,000?
$5,000 brings a Hope Squad to a school. How about $10,000?
$10,000 would continue to allow us to provide innovative and new curriculum so our students are getting the skills that they need in the most meaningful ways to support their work. How about $120,000?
$120,000 would allow us to bring 50 Hope Squads to schools, and it would allow us to expand our programming to help families as they struggle through mental health crisis.
Sounds like every donation makes a difference.
Every donation makes a difference. So help us save young lives together. We need to spread more hope around. However you can contribute, you've seen lots of ways to do that tonight. We want you to do that, please do it. And I'll tell you what, as a reminder, anything you contribute tonight will be matched by our incredibly generous sponsors, and thank you to those sponsors.
All money donated to Grant Us Hope this evening helps them contribute and continue their life-saving work. Not only will they be able to expand Hope Squads in and around Ohio and specifically the tri-state area, just like my personal Hope Squad, but it also expands their work in parent education and outreach, helping parents learn more about the ways that they can help prevent suicide and become more aware of mental health.
From Nicketh and I, we want to thank you for being with us for this very important night and for this very fun night, the Butterfly Bash. Thank you for contributing whatever it is you can, and we hope to see you again next year.
One thing that makes me hopeful right now is actually just being back to school and just being able to associate with everyone. It just helps me.
Seeing my students interacting with one another and building each other up makes me hopeful. Also, listening to my 5-year-old's giggles makes me hopeful.
What makes me hopeful is graduating. I'm a quarter closer. I just finished the first quarter of my senior year of high school, so I'm really excited to go to the next step of my life and go to college.
Something that brings me hope is seeing my grandparents. They've been together for 50-something years, and that makes me so hopeful because I want to have a relationship as strong as them.
One thing that makes me very hopeful right now is that I get to see my mom when I come home from school.
What makes me hopeful right now is the future of mental health. I'm hopeful that we're going to move so far in the future that it's going to be just like, having a bellyache or having the cold and needing to stay home for a couple days.